I call the Ripon City Council special meeting of May the 19th to order. Lisa, will you please do the roll call?
Councilmember Leo Zuber.
Here.
Mike Restucia.
Present.
Dean Euchre.
Here.
Vice Mayor Daniel DeGraff.
Here.
Mayor Jake Parks.
Present. And we will now open it up to public discussion. I understand that there are several emails.
There are, Mr. Mayor. I will read through them.
Thank you.
The first is from Mike Scogna. My name is Mike Scogna. I am the owner of Ripon Fitness and am now in the 13th year of operation in this fine city. COVID-19 is nothing to laugh at or make light of. I do not in any way diminish the importance of taking specific action to prevent getting infected or spreading the virus. However, we are all adults, and by now everyone understands the risk of being in public and the things you personally can do to keep yourself safe. If you are in the high risk categories, then by all means you should limit your exposure to others. But here's the thing, most people are not getting sick, or if they do, suffer very mild symptoms or no symptoms at all. At this point, the lockdown is causing more harm than good. Businesses are dying on a daily basis. I am one of the lucky businesses that had a little bit of surplus built up to handle the bills that still have to be paid monthly. However, I'm getting to the point now that if this goes on too much longer, I will be in danger of joining those that have already closed their doors for good. My gym has always observed sanitation practices and makes antiseptic spray bottles and hand sanitizer available to its members. In preparation for reopening, I have also purchased gloves and face masks for members to wear if they desire to do so. The average crowd size in my gym is normally 6 to 10 per hour, except for high traffic times between 5 and 7 p.m. Social distancing can be observed. My members understand the risk and are more than ready to get back to working out at the gym. What I ask of the city is to try and communicate with either the county or the state on behalf of all business owners in Ripon that we are ready and capable of opening and operating in a safe manner. Thank you. Another receipt from Sherry Jenkins. If done smart, can we reopen, please? Our cases are minimal and the hit on our economy terrible. Enough is enough. Open, please. Jean Wade. I think it is incumbent upon Ripon to join the county attestment paperwork. We need to move forward into stage 2 so we can be prepared to get into stage 3. The city has done a great job of protecting our Bethany home community. This must continue as we need to protect our most vulnerable. Please consider support to safely and cautiously move us further along. Thank you. A letter from Zion United Reformed Church to the honorable members of the Ripon City Council. The pastors, consistory, council, and congregation of Zion United Reformed Church acknowledge and appreciate the consistent and balanced efforts that the City Council of Ripon has made in responding to and managing the current COVID crisis. Please accept our sincere gratitude for all of your efforts. We have received advice that the council this evening will be considering and potentially voting on submitting a petition to Governor Gavin Newsom asking that Ripon be allow to reopen. We understand that you are inviting the churches in Ripon to send letters in support of such reopening. Zion welcomes and supports any and all efforts to reopen our city and our churches the earliest possible time. Zion URC believes that churches are essential activities and should have the highest priority in being allowed to reopen and return with appropriate mitigation measures to these pre-pandemic activities and practices. Zion has considered and is in the process of provisionally adopting a broad spectrum of policies and procedures that will respond to ongoing needs for social distancing, the maintenance of scrupulous clean facilities, and any and all changes in our typical practice and meeting together that will mitigate exposure and spread of the virus to the greatest extent possible. Zion URC strongly supports and encourages all efforts to secure the earliest possible reopening of the city and its churches, and thanks you for the opportunity to offer input into the process that you are undertaking. Sincerely, Douglas Field, Chairman of the Consistory, First Christian Reformed Church of Ripon. This is a statement of support for resolution to be discussed on May 19, 2020. I apologize. I should be reading these as a part of the resolution. So we'll just keep going because there are no items to not discuss, not on the agenda, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Sorry.
We're going with you.
The Council of First Christian Reformed Church of Ripon supports the resolution to petition the governor to immediately allow counties under the direction from the approval of the public health officer to craft and implement local directives necessary to allow individuals, businesses, and schools to resume activities in a manner that does not menace public health. We do so requesting that churches be recognized under the heading individuals and businesses, as churches are essential to our communities for the health of both body and soul. We object to the fact that to date the church has been deemed as non-essential by our state. Churches are always essential, and they are especially needed during a time when our communities are facing physical, financial, emotional, and spiritual hardships. Churches are able to worship safely. Our leadership has put together a mitigation team and a detailed plan to do so. Specific aspects of that plan are attached. We therefore urge you to pass the resolution and quickly declare that churches can meet together. And then they have also submitted their plan to worship safely during the pandemic. A comment from a Talia Bobadilla. Knowledge is having a moment right now, but be it ill-informed or credibly found. Many in society are terrified, angry, upset, hurting, the list goes on. This problem is not black and white, which means the solution is not black and white. There are but two things I urge you all to remember. One, there will not be a solution everyone can agree on. Two, no one is happy with our current circumstances. That aside, how we feel during this time isn't how we should approach or prioritize this problem. The continued safety of the public should be our highest priority, and that could mean a number of things, but whatever solution our council members reach, we as a community need to follow. We may not respect it, and we may not agree with it, and that's okay. But if officials we as a community have elected are telling us this is what's best for the greater good, then that's what we have to follow. If you don't like it, run for office and effect change there. Please stop fighting amongst yourself and being rude to one another. The virus doesn't care about your political party. Everyone has a right to an opinion, but you can share those opinions in a more productive manner. We are all in this thick of this together. Try to remember that and be kind. From Courtney Dindalk. To whom it may concern, I would like to place my vote that the city of Ripon reopens before we lose everything everyone has worked so hard for. Sincerely, Ripon resident Courtney Dindalk. Joseph Francella. I am in favor of the City Council of the City of Ripon passing the resolution below, and then it references the resolution as it's referred to on the agenda. Rich and Brenda Camper. It is time to reopen Ripon. We cannot afford to have any more businesses close their doors permanently because of this virus. Comment from Susan Earle and the Earle family. To City Council, as a citizen of Ripon, I would first like to thank you for the service you provide to our city. Ripon is a great little town, and I and my family feel truly privileged to live here and support our local businesses. With that said, it is time for us to reopen and allow all business owners to open, whether it be for sit-down dining, cocktail bars, salons, gyms, or massage services. No one should be left out. I believe we are more than ready, and I and my family are willing to follow guidelines that the businesses put in place. Respectfully. Tracy Riddle. Hello, leaders of our beloved town. I will make this brief, as I'm certain you are getting numerous emails today. I have to tell you, I think it is time to reopen our little town. We are healthy, and our churches and businesses are hurting deeply by all these lockdowns. By definition of the word pandemic, our numbers do not even come close to being a pandemic. We locked down to prevent our hospitals from being overwhelmed and to give them time to prepare. Our area hospitals are actually having the opposite problem that we feared when this all started. They are cutting shifts, furloughing, and laying off staff due to lack of patients. And our state's reserve supplies of equipment needed to treat COVID patients has been built up. They are ready to treat any future cases. No one ever said that this lockdown was meant to stop the virus. We all know that's not possible. The hospitals are ready, but we are still locked down and are crippling our local businesses and churches. We have no real reason to still be locked down. We have already lost Burgess Bakery. Let's not lose more by waiting without a reason. It has become a political issue now. Please don't feed into that. Our little town deserves better. Please don't let our governor lump us in with San Francisco and LA. Don't let him hold us hostage. It's not right on so many levels. Please reopen our town. I'm praying for you all. Thank you for your time. Vanessa Dominguez. Hello. We must open Ripon. I understand we are a small town. We are a small fish in a very large ocean of California. While I understand this, it seems to be a trend for our city council to set back and let the state and federal government step all over our community. There have been multiple issues that are being fought in other cities, like the forcible installation of 5G small cell towers, but the Ripon City Council consistently decides to sit on the sidelines. Now citizens are at risk of losing everything. When are we going to put our foot down? Enough is enough. We all know the statistics, and we all know this lockdown isn't warranted any longer. Please let Ripon be a part of the fight to put our governor back into his place. Please allow people to earn a living. Those who choose to wear masks will. Those who choose to still isolate can. We need the freedom to choose, though. We need to give our small businesses a fighting chance. And those are all public comments for the resolution.
Thank you very much. So moving on to item 3, resolution. Mr. Warner, is this you?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. State has been operating under a governor-issued stay-at-home order since March 19th. Local governments like the city of Ripon does not have the legal authority to change a state or county health order other than to make it more stringent. Our role is one of education and enforcement. There's been a lot of discussion lately about those policies here in the city of Ripon. The governor has recently announced a 4-stage framework to phase out of the stay-at-home order. He refers to it as a resilience roadmap. We are currently at stage 2 of that roadmap, which allows retail businesses to begin operating with curbside service to customers. In order to continue to move through that roadmap, the governor has established certain metrics that counties must attest to before they can advance through stage 2 and begin to reopen businesses such as dine-in restaurants, schools with modifications, salons, etc. We have had a number of conversations with county staff and the public health officer about their progress in meeting the criteria for attestation. However, there are certain criteria that is very difficult to meet because of the size of San Joaquin County. Typically, or at least as of last week, it was 0 COVID deaths in the last 14 days, which based off the governor's statement yesterday, that is being removed as one of the criteria. But the other one that still becomes a challenge for San Joaquin County is dealing with vulnerable populations. As I understand it from the county staff, is we're required, or the county is required, to provide housing for 15% of the homeless population. And that means individual restrooms as part of that housing. It becomes very difficult to do that and then eventually be able to attest to advance through phase 2. As a result, staff is proposing the City Council adopt a resolution along with San Joaquin County, City of Escalon, City of Tracy, City of Lodi, and City of Manteca to petition the governor to allow counties to develop and implement local directives to allow individuals, businesses, schools, and churches to resume activities in a manner that protects public health. In front of you is a revised resolution from what was originally posted. You can see it's a red line version that has changes from this morning's Board of Supervisors meeting. And there's a couple changes to the whereases, but the largest change is in the therefore be it resolved. They added houses of worship as one of the activities that they would be able to develop their own manner to operate again. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We will open it up to the city council. Does anyone have any comments?
I have some comments, but.
Yeah.
So some of these comments even go to some of the emails, and some of those emails seem like they're so old because they're really old information in there. And I appreciate all the emails. Those are very good, supportive emails. But I want to remind the public that the city has taken action. Maybe we didn't communicate it well enough that the city is open for business. So getting emails saying we're not is not quite accurate. Also, some of the businesses are not, I've talked to businesses downtown, they're just really happy with what we've done, every single one. But some of the concern certainly is not the city of Ripon, but it's the state taking licenses away that have been issued. So we have no control over the state doing that, although we don't agree, I don't agree with it. The state is threatening that. These are all state mandates, and we're doing everything within our powers. I wish we could do more than that and just say we're going to follow our own rules, but then it becomes an anarchy, and we just can't do that. We don't want to place any worse burden on businesses if we do something and the businesses end up taking it, being negatively impacted. And this morning at the Board of Supervisors meeting, I mean, they're as frustrated as we are about businesses not being able to open up. And so they're also putting a resolution together, and Dr. Park has been very vocal. I want to say that Board of Supervisors and Dr. Park have been very good fighting for this county. As much as it seems like nobody's doing anything, nobody is sitting back, nobody's waiting, nobody's just letting things happen. They're sending a letter up today based on all the information they have gathered, and she's asking for, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but basically allowing us to be treated differently than, let's say, LA and some other counties, and all the counties be specifically used from the almighty up in Sacramento to allow us to do that. So their county's fighting for us. We're fighting for everybody. But we don't have control over everything we'd like to. And so I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad you updated it because there was some good information from the Board of Supervisors meeting this morning. So I'm certainly very much in support of providing this to the, are we giving it to the county or are we sending it directly to the governor?
I believe we're going through everyone's organizing through the county.
Okay. So I'm definitely in support, and I'm glad we're doing it.
On the point Mike made about, state licensing, that which would cover, like real estate offices, barber shops, salons and stuff like that. Is that considered an individual? Would we be allowing them to open per se? Because those are probably the people that are being affected by this, what I've seen more than anybody, because they're a cash business, and if they'll never be able to make that money up. So to me, it seems like they're the more important people.
Yeah, like we talked about in the past, our role with enforcement gives them some opportunities to make a decision. Our violations is something that they may still have to deal with, but the bigger issue, ours are fairly small in the big scheme of things with the licensing boards and losing, whether it's an alcohol license or a license to operate a hair salon, are bigger issues than what our enforcement actions are.
Councilman Zuber?
But isn't this the intent of this resolution, is to join with the other cities to provide support for her application to get those people off of the backs of those businesses?
Yes.
The only way that the licensing boards can be pulled back is if the governor says San Joaquin County can go to stage 3. And that's what we're trying to get them to do.
That's exactly right. So by doing this, if the county is successful, if we're all successful in being able to do this, they would have the legal authority to open, and the licenses would not be at risk.
And by the way, there's 9 other counties, a minimum, that are requesting the same thing too, because they've seen the progress that everybody in our county has done so well to reduce numbers.
So do you, a
So,
Motion to adopt the resolution.
so one second. So Vice Mayor DeGraff, are you good?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to add. I mean, I think you guys covered everything I was going to ask or say already. And I mean, it's to say to begin with, I'm a supporter of sending this. I think it's definitely time for us to push a little bit harder on. I mean, like everybody said, the county and city councils are doing what we can do as much as we can do to support our businesses and the people of our community. So definitely in support of sending this to the governor and letting me know what we think. So.
No, I am too. I think I kind of agree with it, what everybody said. My hope is this, from this, is that just a localism gets revived and that there more and more people start to push down to give power to the cities, to increase their power to make decisions. So not to have everything done by the state. So no, I agree. So I think we had a motion on the floor and we have a second.
I want to say one more thing if I can, since it's motion second
Yeah.
discussion. In my opinion, I think Dr. Parks has really proven that she's developed a good a relationship with the state in terms of they believe her. She's being straight with them. She's trying not to do anything that's dumb. And so I think that with her behind this, I think we have good success in being able to prove our case.
Mm-hmm. So we have a motion, we have a second. We're doing roll call vote?
Aren't
Oh.
you-
I'm sorry, went what?
Are you logged in?
Am I logged in? Oh, I am logged in.
I'm not.
I know, but we're gonna try to pick your vote up.
So, okay, so, well, Leo's the mover, so
Dean or Leo?
Leo is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to.
And then I seconded.
Oh,
Did it move?
I seconded. So
yeah, Leo's the mover, Mike seconded, so,
I'll move it if you want.
yeah, so can we just, can we have, I mean, do we have
I
an,
seconded.
Yeah.
No, but I can't do anything because I don't have a machine.
so Leo, do you have a problem if Daniel is the mover? All right, so, all right, we've got a second. Dean moved it after all this discussion.
Leo moved it, I seconded. Let's make the record.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Technology, gotta love it.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on, they said that they're gonna pick up Leo's vote, so they're gonna try and cast it over there, so. Once again, Leo's holding everybody up.
You guys think that these machines are accurate? It's nothing. They're doing it all right there and just making us feel good.
All right, well, and they, okay, so it moved, so I'm gonna, so I am
What do
actually,
you mean away?
so we'll note the record, so. Okay. All right, so, and it says, so it looks like they just updated it, so seeing that, the vote is complete. And we will go ahead and adjourn this.
Wait, I want to bring up one,
Yeah.
sort of a outshoot of this. In the bulletin today, you have nothing else to do, so just calm down. In the bulletin today, there was an article about a program that the city of Lathrop was implementing, and what they were doing was using, I think it's their CDBG money, and also some money that is the equivalent of our mitigation fee that we assess every year, to come up with a program to, and it's not a loan as I understood it, they're giving businesses a certain amount of money that submit an application and qualify according to some criteria. And I'm just wondering if we might want to think about something like that, because we've got some places where we have money that, and I'm not saying we should give it away, but we do have some business who could use some help. And if we have the ability to do it, those same businesses, if they recover, are going to end up contributing back to this city in the way, in lieu of sales tax and property tax and a few other things. So in that respect, I view it as getting some money back. If nobody objects, what I'd like to do is have Kevin get a hold of Lathrop, find out what they're doing, and let us know. Maybe we come back. I think we ought to at least talk about it.
Yeah, I have no objection to that.
I think we ought to look at everything they can help for our businesses. I'm glad you saw that.
Because it's one-time money that they have, you know, and I'm not saying that we don't need it, but like I say, we've got some people in town that need some help too. And if we have a way to do it, I'd like to at least look at it and see if it's doable.
And staff would be happy to bring that back to the council, and we could even do another special meeting ahead of the June city council meeting, because I know obviously the longer this goes on, it's more of a stress on businesses. So as soon as we could get some together, we'll schedule another special meeting with the council to at least discuss it and give some direction to staff.
Don't make that meeting on, NASCAR is running on Wednesdays now.
So Wednesday at 2 is a great time?
As long as it's 10 minutes after it starts, 10 minutes
Yeah.
before it ends,
Yeah, that's
won't
true.
miss the middle.
That's a legitimate point.
Are you gonna get more emails?
All right. And with that, we will go ahead and close the Ripon City Council meeting.
Now that it's closed, I'll ask my actual question.
Wait, you're still on.
I'm not.